I'm Alan Weiss, and this is The Writing on the Wall. Hi, I'm Alan Weiss. This is The Writing on the Wall. Welcome back once again. And this is episode 42, Prevention. I'm talking today about the difference between preventive and contingent action. For example, when you think of fire, the danger of fire, what do you usually think about? You know what most people think about? They usually think about something like this: fire extinguisher. Or they think about sprinklers. Or they think about insurance. But all of these are contingent actions. That is, the fire has to have occurred for these things to be effective. The real key to consider about fire is preventive action. Preventive action are things like no smoking signs, things like keeping combustible materials separated, things about making sure that the electrics are up to code. Perhaps not as obvious and perhaps sometimes not as romantic as the firefighter rushing into the burning building, brave people. Nonetheless, more important than contingent action, because that way the fire doesn't get started. In dentistry, how's that for a segue? Dentists used to make their living filling teeth, a contingent action. You got a cavity and they fixed it. You chipped your tooth, they fixed it. But with fluoridation and all kinds of better education, people didn't have so many teeth problems. So what did dentists turn to? Very intelligently, prevention, preventive dentistry. And today it's cosmetic dentistry. And so you can shift careers from the contingent to the preventive, which is much more valuable. Yet we see insurance providers today balking at preventive actions. They pay for things after the fact. They pay for hospital rooms. They pay for procedures to fix things. But they don't pay so much for preventive measures. They're giving women problems paying for mammograms, which, as far as I know, are wonderful preventive measures. Whom do we tend to revere? The firefighters or the fire marshals? Firefighters are brave people, no doubt about it. But the fire marshals are the ones who help prevent the fire. What kind of consultants, professional services providers should we be revering? The ones who always come in to fix things, or the ones who come in to prevent things? Somebody said once that a consultant is someone who comes in to help solve a problem and remains to stay part of it. Sometimes, unfortunately, that's true. Preventive action requires education, not merely doing something. If you take a look at the difference between alcohol use and tobacco use, prohibition, the government tried to stop people by whacking them, stop people from drinking by whacking them. And so before Prohibition, there were 87,000 bars in New York. They closed them. After Prohibition, there were 137,000 speakeasies. People didn't want to stop. They wanted to drink. But smoking over the past 20 years is different because people have been educated about the dangers of smoking and secondhand smoke. If you prevent people from doing things because you educate them, you save a lot of money versus fighting the fire after it's occurred. It's always occurred to me something interesting is that the ancient kings didn't have great surgeons. They didn't have great medical care. They had food tasters. I don't want to risk being poisoned and being operated on. Have somebody else taste the food first. Maybe we all need food tasters. We talk today with these empty affirmations. They can knock you down, but they can't knock you out. I got news for you. They can knock you down, and they can knock you out. The key is not to be hit. The contingent action is getting up after you're hit. The preventive action is to avoid being hit. The best fighters, they're sometimes hit the least, So what are you investing in each area? How much time are you spending on preventive action versus contingent action? The stupidest kind of contingent action, unfortunately, we've seen in the past couple of months. On Christmas Day, someone tried to blow up an airplane with explosives in their underwear. They got through all the preventive checks. That is, they bought the ticket with cash, they checked no baggage, it was a one-way ticket, and the guy's own father informed the American embassy that he could be a terrorist threat. So all the prevention that could have kept him off that airplane, for one reason or another, failed. And at the time we're filming this, they don't know. At the time you're viewing this, I don't know if they'll find out why all those preventive actions failed. But what happens is the TSA decides that we need more contingent action. And so you can't read a book or have something on your lap for the last hour, one of their suggestions, which means what? That people are too stupid to try to blow up the plane 65 minutes before it lands? You can't go to the restroom? That will do damage to people's kidneys. It will make them sick. I doubt it will stop anyone from trying to blow up planes. Contingent action is often symbolic. It's preventive action that saves the day. So look ahead. What are the likely causes of the problems, of the obstacles, of the barriers that you might be facing in the months ahead? And look to prevent them. Don't put things in place to deal with them after they occur. I mean, we all need some of that, but try to prevent them. Spend your time doing that. Later today, after we're done here, I'm going to get a flu shot for the swine vaccine, the rhinoceros vaccine, or the giraffe vaccine, whatever the latest one is, for the flu. Because even though I can afford a great hospital room, I'd rather get the vaccine. It seems to me that's a whole lot smarter way to act. Koufax, ready to go to the vet? Let's go, Koufax. Come on, Koufax. Get in the car. In the car. Good boy.